Okay, Cal, one thing about your statement that jumps out to me is we have a good team, you said, and clearly that had to factor into your decision as to why you did things now at 0-4 with 12 games left. Can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've heard that as sort of a why now question, and I think it is a good question. But we were 0-4, and the last several quarters I just felt deserved some attention. In the Pittsburgh game, the second half, we really struggled, and then the game in the Vikings, I felt we just weren't playing the caliber that we should be playing. And my phrase, it's not my favorite phrase, but it's sort of a product on the field. Again, it's not my favorite phrase, but it is one that I felt that it just wasn't there. And 0-4, I just felt we needed to change directions. And that's why we did it. We did it at that time. Typically, people would do that at the end of the year after the season. And we certainly could have waited. There's sort of another off-ramp there around the break on our bye week. And also I had thought about if we hadn't played better at the Vikings and then against Jacksonville, I would really need to make the hard decision. But it was after the Viking games. I just really felt it was the right thing to do. And with 12 games left, the season isn't over. If you divide the season up into quarters, we've just played the first quarter, and it's time to go out there and focus on one game at a time. And we made the change, and I really believe in our players. We have really good players. We have seen that in spurts in games. We've seen a number of good drives by the offense and a number of good stops by the defense. And we just got to put those together and go find a way to win a game. And I really believe we can do that.
And along those lines, you have Jacksonville this weekend, Cal. Romeo Crennel takes over as interim coach. Can you talk about the confidence you have in him? He brings a great deal of experience to the table, obviously.
Well, yeah, we've known Romeo for 6.5 years. And he's a terrific person, a terrific coach. The guys have a lot of respect for him. He's a natural fit there. He's our associate head coach. And actually, we had gone through the exercise a little bit with thinking through the virus and what happens in different positions on our staff. If someone caught the virus and was out for a couple of weeks, how we would handle that. And so, and in fact, Bill felt strongly that Romeo was the right guy, and talking through all of our options, we absolutely agreed with that. And so this wasn't exactly the same reason or rationale for making the change, but we had thought through it and were ready for this and made the change.
Cal, Bill was also general manager, of course, and during the season it's not a heavy player acquisition time, especially this year with COVID-19 going on, but how will you handle the general manager side of things during the campaign with Romeo as interim head coach?
So the league does like to see, certain names in certain boxes, and Romeo will fill the head coach box on the interim basis. Jack Easterby will step into that interim general manager role. We'll go forward in that way, and we turn in our list of contacts to the league, and so people will know who to call. They already know who to call because it's fairly a close-knit bunch, and people know who to call to do certain things. But we do turn in a list to the league, and we will start a search for the head coach and the GM on a permanent basis. And at that time, Jack will switch back to the job he had before, which is in football ops. And I've actually started a conversation with the search firm. But right now, we want to focus and get everyone settled down and get ready and go play a great game on Sunday and rally around coach, put our best effort. And I know it's a cliche when you say one game at a time, but for us, it really is. We need to focus on this one game up ahead of us and put on a great effort. And what I want to see our guys having fun, Mark. I want to see the defense flying around. I want to put the Rock Boy band back together. I want them to play their songs. I want, Justin Reed to take a pick back 99 yards. I want to see Deshaun playing the air guitar and, He's got a great dance in the end zone my wife really likes to see. And these are things I want to get back to. I want to get back to having fun. I want the guys flying around. I want playing fundamental, and that'll lead to wins and get us to where we're going to go.
Well, we all want to see that, Cal. And obviously, despite the 0-4 start, it sounds to me like you're really confident in the roster, because as we look at the background of the last year and all the major transactions and the Hopkins trade and everything like that is coming back up again with this start and the removal of Coach O'Brien. So talk to us about the roster and your confidence in the moves that were made and what you've got going forward.
I think we have seen the players put together, like I said earlier, good drives on offense. I mean, they can roar up and down the field. We can run the ball. We can pass the ball. And I think on defense, we've seen the defense step up and make stops. And so we have the players. I think when you look back in time, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because it is in the rearview mirror, but we would have loved to have Hopkins on our team. But when you have a franchise left tackle, which we redid his contract, and by the way, he's playing at a top 5 level right now. And so we have the franchise left tackle is a huge piece of the puzzle. We have a franchise quarterback, which is what we've been looking for years and what every team is looking for and trying to get. And we have him, and we have a very firm belief that Deshaun is our guy. And so we had those two major contracts. If you look across the league, we are paying more than anyone, and it's not really very close on our roster. And so when Hopkins wanted to redo his contract, it just wasn't something we could do. And so we did trade him. We moved him. We moved him to a team that had the salary cap room to extend him. We moved him to a team who I know the owners is great ownership. We moved him to a team that has an exciting and a fun offense. And so I think we did a good job placing him in a good place. And he's a talented guy. We would love to have him, but it just wasn't going to fit financially with all the constraints that we have in operating the club under the salary cap and all the different rules. It just wasn't possible to do at this time.
One more for you, Cal. It's clear you're very focused on this season with 12 games left and all the divisional games left at that. But as the search goes on, you mentioned hiring a general manager and a coach. Would it be one before the other, or is that the kind of thing you'll take as it comes and as you navigate through this search?
Well, that's how we've been structured traditionally, is with the head coach and a GM. And I'll look for us to go back to that. And we'll spend a lot of time, like I said, working on getting the exact fit and getting the right guy in each of those seats. Typically, you would do the GM first and then use his expertise in your search group to find just the right head coach. And I'm confident we can do that. And we're coming up with lists. We already have lists. We'll work on those. We'll refine them. We have plenty of time to do that. And again, there's a lot of constraints within the league while the season is going on, and we'll totally respect those. But we'll cast a broad net and look at all of our options and try to find just the right guys that are really going to work hard together, be smart, be dedicated, and bring championships to Houston.
Well, Cal,
I can't tell you how excited I am for the players. I believe in the players, and they're going to come out and do great things. And like you mentioned, the season isn't over. We have 12 games, and I'm excited to see how this season plays out.
Cal, I said one more, but I lied. Founders Day was yesterday, and numerous people in the organization, players included, and me too, and I know you and Hannah as well, were able to visit with school children on a day that honors and acknowledges the founding of the franchise on October 6th of 1999. We had a celebration last year in the stadium with your father, Mr. McNair, going into the Ring of Honor, and this year was a really special event. Can you tell us a little bit about your role in it?
Oh, absolutely. So Founders Day, Jamie and his group do such a great job, Jamie Roots, and they came up with this Founders Day concept. And like you said, last year we utilized it to put Dad in the proper ring of honor, proper place up in the ring of honor. And it was, a wonderful day. And then this year and years going forward, we'll celebrate Founders Day with a day where we all volunteer and try to make the world a better place. Yesterday was that day. And so, we got together. I think the numbers were at least 90 of our people called at least 100 classrooms. And we all read to them and encouraged the children in trying to make a small difference in someone's lives. And talking about numbers, I think it's going to be a little over 2,000 kids we read to. And so it was something we were excited to do, and a great Founders Day.
It was a wonderful day. In fact, my class had a kid named Arian who's named after Arian Foster, so I thought that was interesting.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was up against professionals like you. Normally I go and read Fernando the Bull to the boys' second grade class, and they gave me a book on the solar system, so I was really a little bit nervous, and but I think they enjoyed it. And Hannah read with me. She had another book, and we just had a really fun time interacting with the class.
Those second graders can be a tough room. Cal, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mark.